Okay, the Real War Gamer here with Iron Cross. Man-to-man combat, East Front. Okay, it's the Russian player turn. It's the second phase, the support fire phase. So go right down the list here. Announce attack. So what I would like is announce attack. Actually, what is it? What exactly is involved? What exactly do you have to do? What do you have to do is announce attack. Okay, designate the target hex and all eligible units that will fire at it. Okay, so I definitely want my all right, I'll start simple. I want the LMG here. I want the LMG here to fire at this target hex here. Okay, so determine loss. They're up on the hill 1, level 1 hill. Number of AP combat dice. And they're looking right. So determine line of sight. Oh, okay, this is what I really do, but it goes down the hex side. But there it is. Line of sight is clear. It goes from level 1 hill down by this 1 hex building, right down the road to right there. Okay, that's line of sight. Attempt observation. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll. Whoops! I'm going to roll my 2. Oh, that's fairly low. So I'm going to roll my dice first and then figure it out. So this is observation. There we go. The base observation for 1 building hex is 6. Okay, 6. So I guess we go with the 12. Go with base is 6. All right. So modifiers favoring the target. For every 5 hexes beyond the initial 5, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that doesn't count for each improved position. Oh, no improved positions. No tree symbols involved. No trees, AFVs or wrecks involved. No marsh. And the target is a non-AFV unit in downstate. So it's +1. So +1. Yeah, okay, effectively that does drop it. No, I'll keep the die roll modifier. So +1 die roll modifier. +1 die roll modifier. If the observing unit moved within the last 3 phases, the observing unit did not, and here's where I have to determine which one. I want the light machine gun itself to observe, and they did not move within the last 3 phases. All right, modifiers favoring the observer. If the target was successfully observed in a previous, nope. 2 or more levels below, no. That's only 1 level below. If any target hex moved. If any unit in the target hex moved within the last 3 phases, nope. AFE, no. Commander, no. LMG soldier is not a commander. Target hex has 4 or more men. No, it only has 2. Any non-MG unit in the target hex used AP fire within the last, nope. No fire. And then we have fired for LMG's ATR, fired medium machine gun mortars, and fired intensive fire ATG, AFE, or machine gun. No. So okay, so it's just +1. So the +1 was for them being in down state. So it's a die roll of 5, +1 is 6, which is 6 or less. Just barely made it. So they barely made it, so now they observe. So right away, I will put my I'm going to put my own memory pieces down here, my little, whatever you want to call them, information counters. So they're like that, B and B corresponding. Okay, here's my B here, corresponding. Okay, so nice. That is observation. Now PCs to fire. PCs to fire. That's easy. The LMG has a 9 there for a. There, we got it. Finally got it. Now we're going to get our first shot. 5 is 9 or less. So the LMG passes his performance check. PC. Now we total and modify firepower. And I'm going to go off camera here. So the next step is to total and modify firepower. Okay, let's talk about AP firepower strength, because that's what I have to determine first. Total and modify firepower. AP, anti-personnel. So basically there's range attenuation, which doesn't apply here because there is no range attenuation for the first printed firing range. A unit suffers no reduction in its factors when firing at targets within their initial range, that is the printed range. So it's 11 for the light machine gun, so there's no range attenuation to this target hex. There's doubling, halving, thirding, and quartering of firepower. I am going to do this because it's right here at the beginning of the battle. I'm going to declare it intensive fire. So machine gun intensive fire, machine guns, both medium machine guns and light machine guns, this is an LMG, may fire double their AP factors. This is called intensive fire. Each time an MG unit uses intensive fire, there's a possibility the machine gun will become disabled. So after each use of intensive fire, the firing player rolls 2 dice and applies the result from the intensive fire table to the machine gun unit. So I'm going to do that. So that's going to make that 6. So printed AP factors of 3. There, doubled for intensive fire. Then there's any other reductions such as terrain effects. Terrain is mainly trees, AFVs, and wrecks. We don't have those in this case. So then we go to the next step is to determine number of dice. 11.3. 11.3. Determine number of dice. AP dice determination, that's anti-personnel dice determination. The number of dice required to resolve each AP fire combat is determined by the target hex terrain. Okay, the up-down state. Alright, so first the terrain, it's a 1 hex building. So the movement and combat effects has 3 dice. 3. Better be careful. We'll wipe out the armies. And then target unit in down state is +1 die, which again, more dice, the worse. But don't say the target and whether or not the firing unit has moved. No, the LMG is not moved. The number of dice required is listed on. Okay, if the okay, I think that's it. AFE and rec cover doesn't apply here. Okay. Now we go on to, roll dice and apply results. So I think I can go ahead and roll my fire dice. Oh wow, it's a very high number. I can't remember if I want high or low. Okay, AP fire combat results. There are 3 levels of combat results: pinned, and suppressed. And then eliminated. Okay, the attack and AP fire strength determines, that's the 6, determines these results, chance of each result. So, when there are several units in the target hex, every unit must be attacked. So there are 2 units in the target hex, so I guess that's the top unit, and then that's the bottom unit. So top, bottom, okay. I think this is going to be no effect, but yeah. but we'll walk through it. Start with the final AP firepower total. This is the pinned result, 6. Have that, rounding up, and that's the suppressed levels, so that's 3. And then have that rounding up, and that's the eliminated. So 3 halved to 1.5 rounded up is 2. Okay. If the number, okay, so the attacker rolls the number of dice and totals their results. As numbers compared to the 3. Okay, so yeah. So what this means is, since you're rolling 4 dice, I mean the lowest you can possibly get, of course, is 4, which is still, so basically only a roll of 4, 5, or 6 here would result in pinned. So not even close to being able to hit them. Now, of course, it makes a vast difference if they were in the clear. If they were in the clear and not in down posture, then, I mean, you're rolling 1 die. Oh, which actually means you're automatically going to pin at least. You're automatically at least going to pin. Okay. So there we go. Again, I'm not sure I'll ever get used to this combat system, but again, every time what I see, it seems to work. It's just a really odd way to get there. I think if there's, if the number rolled is greater than the P level, the pin level, the attack had no effect on the target unit. Okay, so I think that's it actually for this attack. So actually I should have resolved for the intensive fire. Oh my! 7. Wow. So here's the intensive machine gun fire effects. 7. Weapon broken, may not fire for the remainder of the game. Wow, that really was, of course, that was incredibly silly and not worth it. Well, I will take it out of the game, but I'm not sure what to do with the soldier, so I'm trying to remember if weapons can be picked up in this game. I cannot remember. So I will, well, the light machine gun has its own line on the roster. So yeah, I will mark it as permanently damaged on the roster and handle it that way. And I'll figure out if, no, at the very, very, very least, I do remember, even if you can't pick up weapons, which I can't remember whether you can or you can't, I do believe that there is a use for soldiers, even if they're, this LMG soldier, even if his machine gun is permanently broken for this firefight, you can still use soldiers as manpower for crude weapons. So for that reason alone, I guess the soldier should not come off the map and out of the game.